Quiet as it's kept, the case involving Rabbi Shmuley and the anti-Semitic assailant at the Fontainebleau is actually a case of accosted rape, which should be aligned with the history of the rape of men during the Holocaust. We, as Jewish people, must boycott the Fontainebleau to speak against the erasure of sexual violence toward Rabbi Shmuley and the erasure of sexual violence toward the Jewish male body more broadly. Listen carefully to the blatant language of desired rape voiced directly to the victim.
You're lucky we're in America. I will fuck your shit, motherfucker. Get that shit out of my face. You're lucky we're in America, motherfucker. I will fuck your shit.
Rabbi Shmuley is experiencing a direct threat of sexual torture, the lived experience of the sexualization of the Jewish male body that finds itself hated and desired at the same time, to be placed in a state of submission and social death, a cannibalistic lust so replete in the everyday discursive world of anti-Semitism that society renders itself deaf to the confession of an unhinged perpetrator, not only targeting a Jew, but yearning to rape him. The only thing preventing him from acting out what Bell Hooks describes in the context of the black male subject, irrespective of Judaism, as a longing to consume bodies in a symbolic, sexualized cannibalism, is standing on American territory at the Fontainebleau. Rabbi Shmuley is not only dehumanized in the face of an emasculating projection, but branded or marked with a form of discitizenship or statelessness no different than Exodus. The Jew should feel lucky he isn't wandering and is in America. Otherwise, he would be turned out by way of sodomistic, ritualized, sexualized torture in the name of Palestine. The perpetrator is seemingly unaware of laws governing American territory, where someone threatening to rape you can be used to file charges, and the remarks make it adamant that if ever encountered outside of American territory, the attempted rape is a given. There is, of course, nothing preventing Rabbi Shmuley from being targeted by the perpetrator on American grounds, to be sexually beaten in the same fashion Judith Butler describes in the context of the Rodney King beating, a brutalization performed as a desexualization, or rather a punishment for a conjectured or desired sexual aggression. The way the perpetrator eyes down the victim, scanning the body in the imaginary, must also be inverted. Rabbi Shmuley's reaction in all its forms, visibly distraught, seeking help, movement and gestures to protect himself under unpredictable circumstances, takes the form of a sexual scene in the eye of the anti-Semite, a sexual degradation which ends up miming and inverting the imagined scene of sexual violation that it appears to want and to loathe in the service of its aggressive denial. The hotel's reaction in the scene and in the wake of its aftermath becomes no different than police officers that joined in the beating of Rodney King. The homosocial desire of homophobia invalidating heteronormativity. This is both historical and beyond the confines of intersectionality. There are Jewish male survivor stories of rape during the Holocaust, just as there are black male victims of the Holocaust. To make sense of the anti-Semitic rape tactic that Rabbi Shmuley endured, select passages of Thinking Through the Silence, theorizing the rape of Jewish males during the Holocaust through survivor testimonies by Tommy J. Curry, takes precedence.
The rape of young Jewish men and boys could involve any number of agents within the camp. The sexual violence a Jewish boy could witness, experience himself, or avoid was unpredictable. While not previously accounted for in Holocaust or genocide literatures, the testimonies of Jewish men seem to indicate that the sexual assault and rape of boys was well known among Jewish men in the concentration camps. Within the camp, survivors describe the rape of young boys as routine. The male rape victim could emerge from any of the conditions in the camp, the threat of death, starvation, or the will of other men. The sexual assault of young men and boys was well known and widespread according to survivor testimonies. The testimony of David Katz describes sexual violence within the camp as commonplace. Auschwitz is mentioned by multiple survivors as being well known for the rape of young boys. Survivors saw the sexual assault, the filth, the disease, as creations of the camp. We turned into something. What the German, Nazi people, wanted us to look like, subhuman. What they call us cockroaches, because they wanted to show the whole world, that is what Jewish people look like, that is what they smell like. Violence was built into the camp, and, sexualized, conditions not only threatened their survival but their very being. Kenneth Roman recounts a particularly violent rape. One night he was told to strip and go into his bed. Mr. Roman recalled, saying, "No, he'll kill me there and then, look, you have no choice," so I did. I was there quite a while and I was so frightened. I was shivering so much, the bed was shaking, I didn't know what he was going to do to me. So eventually he comes into bed, and I'm just lying, he says, "Turn over," so I did. So then, and there, he raped me. Well, it's impossible to describe the excruciating pain. It was something. I've been hit. I've been beaten, but this was no equivalent. I was screaming. The more I was screaming, the wilder he got. He was going mad. I was expected to be beaten any minute. Eventually he spent himself. It was over. Mr. Roman recalls that he was, forcibly, raped by his Blockeltester several times afterwards, on the grounds of being his property. Enduring rape to hold off death by starvation was the most common experience shared amongst survivors' testimonies. Mark Auerbach said very plainly, if boys were hungry they had sex for food. The testimony of male survivors expresses an understanding of men given authority within the camp as having the power to kill without penalty. As young boys, the survivors recount that any resistance could be punishable by death. The whole process of sexual violence in the camp was described as coercive. Despite the fear and humiliation of being raped, these young men could not refuse. Nothing was voluntary. Either for the weakling who went for the food, or good-looking and took. But it was widespread. I knew some of the boys that were took. So if you are hungry, people would do anything. The hunger is more persuasive than the will. 'Cause nobody can imagine what it means to be starved for years. The hunger is more persuasive than the will. The conditions of gratuitous violence that surround the lives of these young men were unimaginable. Death, starvation, disease, and the random violence from anyone in the camp made death an expectation for many of the young men. To make sense of the sexual violence these young Jewish men experienced during the Holocaust requires interrogating whether or not sexual violence against men prolonged life or merely extended death through a form of dying. The sexual violence against Jewish men and boys is not merely descriptive, or meant to be a historical recounting of these events, but somewhat causal in that there is an actual relationship between the racist violence imposed on Jewish males, and the sexual violence and rape they experienced within the camp. The motivating question concerning Jewish men and boys is this: what kind of maleness is created through the Holocaust, that, its horrors, created a racialized male flesh as rapeable as it is disposable? There are historical and theoretical justifications to analyzing the hypersexualization and rape of Jewish men and boys as a product of racism and racialization. In the construction of the Jew as an enemy and threat to the German folk, racist caricatures of Jews, especially Jewish men, became part of the Nazis' logic of extermination. Well before the rise of Nazism, anti-Semitic caricatures of Jewish men depicted their spirituality and intellect as less masculine. Despite the effeminization of Jewish men, there was still a deeply racist mythology that viewed them as sexually insatiable rapists. According to Barbara Hyams, the male Jew was often portrayed as an economic bloodsucker and a seducer, and in caricatures his nose symbolized his disproportionately large phallus. This depiction of Jewish men was not isolated to Nazi propaganda and pseudoscience. Throughout the popular culture of Germany and Central Europe, Even in pornography, the Jew played a sexual role similar to that assigned to the black male in the United States. He was presented as combining oversized genitals, insatiable appetites, and an irresistible approach. Anti-Semitism throughout Europe lent credence to stereotypes of Jewish men as unclean, dangerous to women, and threats to the existence of whole populations. Our contemporary depictions of Jews tend towards deracialization in the United States, so there is very little scholarship that tries to connect the historical stereotypes about Jewish men to the stereotypes of other racial male groups like black men. Harry Broad makes a similar point. In Nazi ideology, the Jewish male was the rapist, cast in images very similar to the myths of African American men in the United States. Like black men, the Jewish male was thought to be incapable of actual love or affection towards women. He was thought to use his sexuality, his insatiable lust, for power. Consequently, his sexuality can only emerge as a deformation that plunges fellow human beings into torment and disaster. The connection between Jewish men and blackness, as well as black Jewish identity, illuminates a central aspect of sexual racism directed at racialized males, namely that they are defined as bodies of contradiction. They are feminine in relation to the dominant group male, but hypermasculine and rapists at the same time. This tension is found throughout the depictions of black men in the United States and Africa in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and extends into the shared history of the African American male Jew and black Jewish men throughout the African diaspora. Understanding racialization as a sexualized process implies that racialized men are malleable, able to be forcefully contoured and disfigured by the desires and violence of others. There is no actual Jewish male, or black male, that exists in racist colonial conditions. Racialized men are caricatures, deleterious representations of the oppressor's imagination. Just as black men were raped during slavery, Jim Crow, and on various colonial geographies, the rape of the Jewish male during the Holocaust suggests that racist ideology and sexual vulnerability are connected. Put differently, the racialized male is made rapeable in being defined as a racial inferior. The Jewish male, his peculiar race-sex burden, makes him an indispensable subjectivity to theorize racism and sexual violence, in all its manifestations, in the 21st century.
There is no such thing as a white Jew. Interestingly, this is what makes Rabbi Shmuley's charge against Lizzy Savetsky, a popular female American Jewish activist, racialized as white in the public imaginary, as well as the racially assimilated history of the so-called white Jewry, all the more relevant at this time on the clock of the world.
At the Fontainebleau, we have had the most incredible week.
I've been coming here for over 20 years, always visibly Jewish, and it's so refreshing to be somewhere feeling safe.
Let's talk to some Jews and see how they're feeling. Do you feel safe here at the Fontainebleau?
Yes, I do.
You like coming here?
Yes, love it.
I have not experienced any anti-Semitism here at all.
So many Jewish people walking around. I feel at home.
Wearing a Jewish star ring and a Jewish star necklace.
I feel very safe and very relaxed.
We wear our kippas, we do minyanim in our rooms. Never felt unsafe once here.
I'm Yisrael Chai.
Right here from the Fontainebleau, you heard it here.
Despite being the victim of accosted rape, neither the larger American public, Lizzy, or the Jewish community in masse has shown support or sympathy regarding this traumatizing experience. Responses arguably mirror those of anti-Semites, which is why Rabbi Shmuley's accused Lizzy of whitewashing the vicious anti-Semitic assault against him that went viral by not only advertising what a great vacation week she was having at the Fontainebleau, but also interviewing other Jews on site to send a message that it was a safe space for Jews, irrespective of what happened to Rabbi Shmuley. The dynamic Lizzy operates out of at this juncture is no different than the tenets of intersectionality, being black, being female, which neglects the lived experience of men, especially black men, and disregards the shared centrality of male rape victims as much as female rape victims, as much as Jewish manhood and Jewish feminism. Lizzy is frozen in an intersectional black feminist worldview that is itself whitewashed. The origins of intersectionality and the Ain't I a Woman mantra nonetheless being white feminism, buttressed by the fact a growing number of black feminists like Jennifer Christine Nash are seeking to abandon the theoretical framework. Indeed, the confusion intersectionality stems has enabled its current weaponization against the Jewish people, and never positioned the rape of men and boys in the center of the intersection, any more than shifting gears by way of the roundabout. Kabbalistically speaking, knowledge is circular, not intersectional.
What did you just say to me?
Don't fucking record me.
Don't you
Put
dare.
your phone down. You fucking baby killer, son of a bitch. Fuck out of here, pussy. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. You baby killer. Fuck you, man. Palestine all day. Free Palestine, motherfucker. You a bitch. You're lucky we're in America. I will fuck your shit, motherfucker. Get that shit out of my face. You're lucky we're in America, motherfucker. I will fuck your shit. You're a baby killer. You like to kill babies, motherfucker? You like to kill babies, man. You know that? You don't support nothing but war. You're a nasty human being. Shame on you, man. I will spit on your face right now. Get out of the lobby right now, man. I don't want to see people like you. Get that camera out of my face, man. I'm telling you right now.
You
Get that...
dare touch me, you're going
I'm
to
not going to
jail.
touch you. Get up.
You threaten me and
Get that camera out of my face.
I'm going to the police and the FBI. Keep on talking.
Get that camera out of my face right now. I promise you, man. You don't know me.
Walked over to me.
I'm a
Walk
businessman,
away.
too.
You hear what I said?
You're a nasty human being.
It's all recorded. It's all evidence.
You're a nasty human being.
You walked over and threatened my life.
I'm not going to leave.
You threatened my life and I'm going to put you in jail. Keep on talking.
You're a nasty human being.
You're
You
an
like to kill babies?
anti-Semite, Jew hater, and
No.
you want me
No,
dead.
no one
and
likes
you said
Jews.
I'm lucky and I'm
Let me
in
tell you
America,
something.
or you
No
kill
one
me.
has a problem with Jews, but people like you, that are Jews, that are making the Jews look bad, you're a piece of shit, hypocrite, son of a bitch. That's what you are, man. You baby killer. Your son is in the IDF too, huh? He likes to kill babies, shoot him right in the skull, in the head. You nasty human being. You Jew killer.
Hello.
You kill your own kind too.
Security?
And you kill babies.
He is threatening my life.
No, I
and
didn't.
I want to
Stop, man. Stop crying, man. You're crying, baby.
I am friendly. I am
Stop
friendly
crying, baby.
with
You
your-
cry,
with
baby.
your
He's
top
a crappy.
executives.
Hey,
Call
go
the
on
police
Piers
now.
Morgan show.
Call the
He kills
I want the
babies.
Miami Beach police coming here
He
right now.
kills babies.
Call
This
the
guy.
police, please.
He's a war killer.
When you guys finish, I
Stop, be quiet, man.
Let me talk. Can I talk? Yeah.
Can I talk, sir?
Are you Fontainebleau security?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I don't want that, please.
Well, then
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
I don't want that.
Well, what do you
I
want?
tried to help you, but I don't want
How
that.
are you helping me? I'm sitting
Sir,
here
I won't put him
working,
away.
and he
We have
threatened my
security right
life.
there. Look, we have security right there.
Call them. Call security.
Come on with me.
No, why?
You wanna
taking
make-
me? He threatened my
I
life.
tried to go
Get it,
together.
sir, please
I
sit
tried
down,
to
please.
help you.
Stop being aggressive. Don't be aggressive. Please sit down, please, sir. Please sit down. Allahu Akbar.
I want the police. I want the police to
Allahu
see this
Akbar.
entire video.
Allahu Akbar. Sit down.
Allahu Akbar.
Sit down, please.
Are you gonna blow yourself up or something?
Hey, look at this guy. He's
Allahu
racist,
Akbar.
brother.
Did you hear what he just said?
Don't worry about it.
He's
Allahu
racist,
Akbar.
man.
Don't worry
You're
about it. We're gonna
racist.
call the police for you guys.
You're racist.
Okay? Let me call the police.
Cuss, mother. You're racist. Peace out, love. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I love
You guys. I want to help you guys, sir. Okay?
You're,
I don't know what's
you're
going on.
hugging someone who threatened my life because I'm a Jew.
I don't know
I'm
you,
sitting
and I
here
don't
and
know
walking
you.
over.
Listen, sir.
I was
I tried to
sitting
be friendly
here,
for
and all I
everybody.
was doing was working. And he comes over and he uses the expressions of like suicide bombers. He says he's going to kill me. Listen to what he's saying.
God, look at this
He
guy,
threatened my
man.
life.
Sir,
I have
sir,
it all
sir.
on video.
Watch
Okay,
my Piers
I have
Morgan.
everything on
That's
video.
what Muhammad made you ashamed of you piece of
Okay,
shit
listen.
human being.
Listen to what he's saying. You're
You little-
letting him say all
you're
this
a
to me?
bit- Your son is
We
the
have the security
idea,
guy
you son
behind
of
you.
a bitch.
You want to explain to him what's going on?
Your son-
Yeah. He can't. Are you security?
Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker.
He's come over to me and threatened my life because I'm Jewish.
No, I didn't.
Bubble.
ሃሌሉያ ግነዩ ለእግዚአብሔር ስመ ክቡር ንጉሥ አንተ አዶናይ እስመ ለምህረቱ ግነዩ ለአምላክ አማልክት አምላክነ አማኑን ጉሰ ነገስ ንጉሥነ ፈጣሪነ ገባሪነ አቃቢነ ኖላዊነ ረዳኢነ ታጋሲነ መሐሪነ አባ ለነዳያን አባ ለመሽክናን ለፈራን ለመዘምራን ስምከ አንተ ስዳድ የጽልመት አምፃ ብርሃን ወላይ በስከ ብርሃን አዶናይ ብርሃን ከዛ እየጠፍ እስከ ለዓለም ብሩክ ለምህረቱ አይቴ አምላከ ሙሴ ወአሮን ወትሮ ስቡሃ በምህረት ብዙሃ ሃሌ